to the Chris and Sam podcast. Pull up a bar stool and join us for a random conversation, guaranteed to make you think or your money back.
This is episode number 4, where we talk about a random trip to a museum and Kickstart or Dropkick.
Hello, Chris.
Hey, Sam. How you doing?
Good.
Right, so was it last episode or episode before that? I forget now.
I know, we're 4 episodes deep into this podcast, and it's hard to keep track of what's going on.
It's so hard to keep
I
up.
know.
But yeah, I mentioned future text, or you still talked about future text because
Yes.
I told you about it.
Yes.
But you had told me about Mighty Text, which I still haven't tried, and I just thought maybe you'd like to share that with me again and the people listening.
Yeah, Mighty Text is an app you can get. I'm pretty certain it's only Android again. Sorry, iPhone people, we don't have an iPhone.
Yeah, no.
So I can't talk about anything there. But basically, the Mighty Text, you have the app on your phone, and it doesn't really do anything. But you go to
MightyText.com?
You go to Mighty Text website, and then you go /app, and it opens up a window, and basically it pairs your phone to your computer via your Wi-Fi, and you get alerts in that on this web browser, and you can send text messages from your computer, and it goes through your phone. It's really, really quick. So
yeah, so the reason that I know about this was because we were texting about something.
yeah.
And I would painstakingly text something out on my phone, which isn't too bad because I got a swipe thing and I was going reasonably quick.
Man.
And then he would be texting back with this huge long paragraph, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how did you type that so quick?
Yeah,
This is
just banged it out on the keyboard and hit enter, and instantly it's gone to my phone.
Yeah.
Really, really good. It's there's free and paid versions, but the free version gives you almost everything, including photos. The only thing that the paid gives you is archiving of every message you've ever made, and also the scheduling thing, which is what Future Text does.
Yeah,
Which
is free, yeah.
And I'm not sure of the price.
Yeah. So, no, it sounds pretty cool. And the other thing that I liked when you told me about it, because you're like, oh, I'm using this thing called Mighty Text, and I'm just typing into my keyboard on my computer at home right now. I was like, oh, that's cool. And he goes, yeah, and I wasn't just typing to you because I was also texting to other people, and it's all on the dashboard here, so I can text back to reply to anybody on the dashboard. I'm like, oh, whatever.
You do have to be quite careful of making sure you're texting the right person. So the newest text pops up to the top of your list, and you just got to read the people's names and just take a few extra seconds of making sure you're not sending it to someone else.
Yeah, I can see how that could be a problem. Right, so, and the other thing you've been talking about before was Telegram.
Yeah.
Tell us about Telegram.
Yeah, Telegram is another app that I've been using. It's messaging app, sort of like WhatsApp, or can't think of what the other major one is. WhatsApp and
Facebook chat thing.
No, not the Facebook Messenger, but there's something else out there. It'll come to me in a second. The thing with Telegram is it's apparently really secure. So if you're worried about your privacy and people hacking in and stealing your stuff, don't worry. They can't check out what you've been doing. It bounces around several servers around the world. A couple of people, 2 brothers, are actually paying for it all and doing everything.
So it's a free app.
Yeah, free.
Okay.
The protesters in Hong Kong got onto it, and I think in one day or a couple of days they downloaded about 14 million copies of it because the government can't check the messages that they're sending to each other.
Because it's all encrypted.
Yeah. So you can do secure chat, which is encrypted phone to phone, but normally it goes through all the servers like normal. And the other cool thing is you can send unlimited amount of photos and videos and documents and all sorts of stuff to each other. It's pretty cool.
Cool. Oh, all right. So Telegram.
And something I haven't used in it, but I think it's a cool feature, is broadcast. And it's sort of like group text messaging up to 100 people all at once. So you can send it all out, and then everyone else sees all the replies. So it's like a little chat room, mobile sort of thing.
Yeah, that'd be good for protests or something, organising.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason
bank heists, things like that.
Yeah, bank heists. Yeah. Oh, God. So the reason I use it is sometimes I don't have cell phone coverage with places I go, but there is Wi-Fi. So I needed something that communicated over Wi-Fi. I did try Viber. Viber's the other one. WhatsApp and Viber are the two biggest ones in the world, and you may have heard of them. So Viber definitely has a desktop application, so you can go straight from your phone to the desktop and use that. But so does Telegram. Telegram has its own desktop.
Oh, yeah, so you can access it from whatever device pretty much you're on.
Yeah.
And, yeah, okay.
And
okay.
Telegram will show you which devices you've used it on. So it'll say, hey, you've been on this computer, but then you can actually kill all connections. If you're getting paranoid that someone's logged on or checking out some of your messages and stuff, you can kill all the extra sessions that are running.
Right. It just sounds so paranoid.
It does a little bit, but I like it. I don't know why.
It sounds good, but it sounds like it's really good for the criminal element. The smarter criminals, not the dumb.
Yeah, it could be. It'd be interesting to see what... No, they'd stay completely away from phones, wouldn't they? They'd use old school, let's write a postcard that makes no sense to anyone.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think, you need that immediacy. You need that quick
that's true.
Of time.
That's true.
I mean, you can't even use scrambled handheld walkie-talkies anymore.
No,
really,
most of them
get busted.
Yep,
pretty
most
easy.
of them can be listened in on.
Yeah. All right, so that's there. So there you go. Two pretty cool apps to check out. Mighty Text, if you want to text message from your device, which is pairing with your phone. Was that by Bluetooth? It was pairing.
No, through your Wi-Fi, like in your
Wi-Fi.
home. Yeah.
So it's like network.
Yeah. It's quite easy.
And then Telegram, if you want to do some encrypted
messaging, or you're worried about people listening in or checking out your messages.
And share photos and videos and documents and all that through Telegram as well.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. All right. Well, one of the things I made a note that I wanted to do is I know I've been talking about films a lot because, that's what I'm doing a lot of at the moment. So indulge me. But what I'm actually after is if anybody is listening and they know anybody who's...
All three of you. We want to hear from you.
If anybody is listening and they know anybody that wants to, who's good with photography particularly, so we're always looking for a DP,
Director of photography.
Yeah, that's the one. Director of photography for the filming we've got. We've got a couple of guys that are okay, but that's not their primary focus. And if we had somebody who was their primary focus, it would be great. We're not offering money. I'm going to put that out there right now.
There's no money in any of this. Hey,
no money in any of this.
I was just having a thought, though. Have you thought about talking to anyone at Wintech?
Yeah, we have. I've spoken to Wintech people about a couple of things. A lot of them are on projects and that. And we've got Paige has been helping us out as well with we've been doing the sound studio. We've got Foley again. I've got Foley again this Wednesday, Thursday. And and we got the actors coming and doing some pickups, so they're going to do some lines and some grunts and some screams and stuff for the movie.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, the oldies
doing the screaming and stuff.
Yeah, so that should be quite cool. Anyway, so that was my thing. But also, if anybody is interested in helping out with movie, learning more, doing something, as I say, it's all voluntary. So we're always looking for somebody to help out, particularly with sound, lighting, all those sorts of things. And if you don't have any skills, there's always something to do if you're interested. So just leave a comment under the show notes for this podcast.
Or get hold or send through something on the contact page.
Yeah, or something on the contact page. Do we have comments on our website?
I have no idea. I'll have to check. We'll turn some comments on. Yeah. I'm always logged in when I look at it, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. So that's cool. So anyway, that's the Chris and Sam podcast.com that we're talking about, of course. So you have a bit of a random story or something.
Well, following on from the last episode where we were talking about me visiting museums.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about other museums I've visited. It turns out I've been to quite a few.
I never would have picked you as a museum dude. Like, seriously?
Oh, I just love seeing all this old stuff, and anything old and like real random. The randomer the better. So start of this year, I think it was, my friend who lives in Christchurch invited me down and said, look, I'm going to a wedding. Will you be the plus one with me. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And all I knew was that it was a work colleague of hers. That's all I got told.
So you went down to Christchurch for some wedding of people you didn't know?
Yeah,
you didn't know anyone except this one girl?
Yeah, my friend. Yeah. That's normal, isn't it? So anyway,
I don't know.
So we went out to this place, and it's the Rossburn Receptions, which is at Northbrook Museum in Rangiora. And the museum is usually only open by appointment. It's sort of a private sort of shed thing that he's got going on, but there's lots and lots of stuff there, like amazing stuff. And so we turn up, and remember, I don't know anyone there, so
the actual wedding reception's at this museum.
Yeah, so it started out as like a house, and then he had a whole bunch of sheds, which he's filled with stuff that he's found from all over the place. Then they've built this big reception area, and then next to that's a church. So they've sort of just been adding stuff to their property, and people have been turning up. So
sounds like the dorms for the cult will be the next thing being erected. And
yeah, could be. So the ceremony was held outside. So when we got there was a whole bunch of people there, and a guy came up and welcomed us and shook my hand and, hi, how's it going? Can't even remember the dude's name, Ross maybe, I think it was. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And not at any moment in my head did I realise that was the groom, because he was like in his 50s and balding, and I had no idea who he was. I thought he might have been the father of the groom, actually, to be honest. But so my friend, who's the same age as me, her work colleague is older than her, and they're both onto their second marriage. And just to compound things, the groom is an identical twin. So I never knew if I was talking to the groom or the twin or anything. And then the ceremony's about to start. We'll just head on over here, everyone. So they pointed us in the right direction. The groom's son came up to me. He was sort of the same thing. And then he hands me the wedding rings.
Hands you the wedding rings?
Yeah, here you go. This is for the ring warming ceremony.
What?
Exactly. I didn't know what I hadn't been told much about this beforehand, so I didn't know what was going on. It turns out they give the rings to everyone that's at the ceremony, and everyone holds them and rubs them in their hands and then passes them on to the next person, and it's sort of like a good luck charm thing because everyone at the wedding's touched your wedding ring sort of thing. But when it's happening...
At least you don't spit on it.
No.
That'd be pretty rude.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, I can imagine a culture where everybody has to spit on it.
Well, that's right. I'm happy I didn't lose them. It wouldn't have gone down very well. So that was all good. So I offloaded them as fast as I could to the next person.
Yep.
And there had been talk that, once the ceremony's over with and the reception's sort of about to kick off, everyone at the wedding gets free entry into this museum. And I was like, when? Well, yeah. And I was like, when is this happening? When are they going to let us in this museum? Like, I had no idea. So I just sort of wandered off and found the door and just let myself in.
Yeah.
So wandered in.
The bar's this way. No, I'm going to the museum.
Yeah, it was some amazing stuff in there. And you're wandering around. And like with any of these old crazy museums, after a while, you find some man that's just standing there doing something, and I'm like, oh, that must be the owner. Yes, it was. So I said to him, look, out of all of this stuff, what is the most valuable thing to you? What's the most important thing? And he goes, probably this. And he goes to this cabinet, and he points to this box. And in this cabinet is all this random old stuff, of course, and... it was a table tennis set, and it was...
a table tennis set?
Yeah. And this guy goes all over he had been all over the world picking up all this random stuff. And he said there was a version in the UK, and it's called wiffle ball. That's what it was called before it was table tennis.
Right.
And he ummed and ahed, and he never brought it back with him. And that's his biggest regret, is not bringing back this wiffle ball set. But he had a slightly newer version, but he said, look at this. And it was just this old box in a cabinet. And actually I just thought of something, because at the museum I went to on the weekend, they had the fossilized sausages.
Yeah. I saw the photos. Look like turds to me.
No, it's definitely sausage. I'm sure someone tested it. But at this museum in Rangiora, in this cabinet, is this random rock. And I'll find you the photo. I've got a photo for that. And it's just got a sign that says, "This is a meteorite." And it honestly looks like a rock. Like, there's nothing backing this up apart from this little sign that someone printed out. I don't know what that's about. But it was cool. It was cool.
Meteorite.
Well, mate, it could have been. It just, I don't know. It was on a cabinet full of other junk.
Yeah.
But lots and lots of stuff. So.
Oh, and then you showed me something else. Hauera.
Oh, that was the Tawhiti Museum sort of in Hawera there.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
The website looked really cool, actually.
Yeah, the guy made lots and lots of dioramas and miniatures, and there's a new early settlers sort of boat ride you can go on with all the natives
it was called
jumping
Traders and Whalers.
Traders and Whalers. Look, someone paid attention.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And lots of stuff there. If you are into machinery and if you're into tractors, my uncle's into tractors big time, that's where you need to go. There's like over 100 tractors in one shed. Amazing stuff.
Wow.
And the guy's actually got a real good sense of humour. So when you see these rooms set up old style, there's like a woman serving soup, but she's tripping and the soup's pouring out of the bowl and it comes out of the bowl onto the floor and it's all like moulded. It's cool.
Oh, wow. That sounds cool. Yeah, so that's museums. I'm afraid I haven't been to a museum for a long time. It was funny because when I was a kid, my grandmother was a custodian at the Wellington Museum. And so
cool.
We used to, I remember getting funny looks from the teacher because they were like, well, what did you do over the weekend? Oh, I went to the museum to see my grandma.
And you, yeah.
Okay. But that was funny because we used to hang out with her for the rest of her shift or whatever, and then we'd have to lock up.
Yeah.
And it would be like, she'd be like, oh, you've got to go and turn off the lights in the mummy room. I don't know how old I was then. I think 7 or 8 or something. And it was like, there are skeletons all over the place in the mummy room, you know? It was like, oh,
that's one way. That's one way to get over your fear.
Yeah, no, it was good. But the cool thing was, you know, the museum has all this stuff, but you go downstairs because we had to lock up downstairs, and there's piles and piles of stuff that nobody ever gets to see.
Yeah,
we would walk through one door, and they had the skeleton of a blue whale. And you actually walk through the door and you're walking through its mouth and it's just piled up. The ribs go around you and you walk through it because that's the only way they could fit it in the room.
Yeah.
And there's all these boxes of junk everywhere, but you're walking through the skeleton of a blue whale. It was amazing. You know. So that's my experience of museums, really.
That's very cool.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So what's coming up? I've got a 24-hour movie marathon coming up in a week's time. So I will... We'll report on that after in an upcoming podcast. No doubt.
How big a stretch do they make? There's obviously breaks between every movie, or how do they work it?
I have no clue.
Okay,
I don't know what I'm getting into, but it's like Adam's been to a few, and he's like, we're sharing the driving back because we're driving obviously from Hamilton to Auckland. 24 hours sitting in the movie. We're going to share the driving back. My other mate that's been to a few up in Auckland.
I hope for your sake that everyone has really good personal hygiene. But I mean that you won't. There'll be one stinky person in that whole theatre.
Yeah, no. There was what I was told. Bring plenty of V and some BO, spray. Yeah. Spray stuff. Yeah, don't eat beans the night before, sort of thing.
No, it's it's going to be interesting. So I'm looking forward to hearing how all that goes for you.
Yeah. Oh, and they have Actoroki, and one of the actors from our film is going to be in there. So, yeah, so I saw the email that sent it out, and Actoroki, you set it up beforehand, and you send it and say, I want to be a part of it, and I am going to do this scene from this movie. And basically, they prefer if it's not a well-known movie, because these are all buffs, so it's like, it's got to be
Does it have to be a movie that someone else knows, though? No,
because what they do is I didn't realise this till I talked to Adam in the weekend, because I read it and went, oh, it sounds sort of interesting. But he said, no, what they do is they have the person on stage and they do the scene and they do their monologue or whatever it was, and then they play the movie behind him that he just did.
Oh, wow.
And they judge it by that. And he said last year somebody won. It was some flamingo movie or something.
Oh, okay.
And this guy's talking away, and you're going, "What the hell? I don't even know what that is."
Yeah.
And then they show the actual clip,
The actual
and they
clip.
went, "Oh my god, he nailed it!" You know.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing that now. So yeah, our actor of our group, Sasha Nixon, is a very good actor. He's the guy that won that award at Comic-Con in San Diego a couple of years ago for his part in a Star Wars fan film.
Ah, very good.
Yeah, so
Good stuff.
Anyway, yeah, so that's what's coming up for me. You got anything exciting coming up?
No, I'm pretty... No. not that I know of, but sometimes these things happen. You get told the day before or on the day, and things happen. I don't
Absolutely.
know. But I do have something different. Kickstart or Dropkick.
Oh, right, yeah.
This is a segment I made up.
Yeah, so the idea is these are things that are being crowdfunded, and we want to say, is it a good idea or is it like dumb idea?
Yeah. So
about,
check
right?
it out and see what you reckon.
Yeah, so it's Kickstart or Dropkick. I like it. Cool.
Yeah, so I found this new Kickstart campaign that's just started up. It's called Spoolie Earbud Management, so SPOOLEE. It's to help you stop getting your earbud cords all tangled up, and we all know how annoying that is.
Yeah, that is. I totally agree.
Or
I hate
headphones. I mean, they do keep saying earbuds, but I think it would work for headphones as well because it's just a cord. And the whole gist of the thing is it's a neoprene, which is like wetsuit material, like a rubber ring thing that goes over your finger. I'll bring it up so you can see this.
It's like a neoprene stick.
Basically, the cord wraps around your finger around this neoprene sleeve, and you can pull the sleeve off when it's wrapped up. And then when you want to use it, you put it on your finger and you pull it and it unravels. So your cord's always wrapped around something.
Do you reckon, because I know with power cords and stuff, if you wrap them around things all the time, it actually is bad for the cord?
It can be, yes. Depends, obviously, how well the cord's made and stuff. So these guys, yeah.
Okay.
So
is
when
there a video? Is this on Kickstarter or is it on another crowdfunding?
No, this is on Kickstarter. So they want to raise $8,000.
Right.
The early bird special for one of them is $7. So this thing's not worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
When I wrote this 4 hours ago, they'd raised $150 out of the $8,000. As I just brought this up on the iPad, they've already made $2,300.
Wow.
From 59 backers. I'm just going to show Chris the picture, and he can scroll through that, and we'll get his reaction on that. So
okay, initial reaction from looking at it was like, yeah, not that amazing, to be fair.
In all their videos and that, they are marketing it towards sports people, so mountain bikers. You have it around your finger, you unravel it, clip it into your device, and then the spoolie sort of sits at the bottom, so you don't actually lose it. And then when you wrap it back on your finger, it wraps around somehow. You pull that off your finger, store it in your bag, and your cords are nice and safe. So I'll put a link up in the show notes.
It doesn't look too bad, actually. It looks a lot better than the description you gave.
Yeah. It's a hard one to describe.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the price point's good.
They're going to sell them for $7 is basically
early bird was $7, so I don't know what their normal, maybe $10. But if I said to you would you pay $20, you might say no. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Does it include the earbuds, or is it just the spoolie thing?
It's just the spoolie thing from what I understand. So check it out. It's Kickstarter.com, obviously, and the project is called Spoolie. I'll have a link, and let us know if you think it should Kickstart or Dropkick.
30 of the limited editions, or the early birds, at $7 left.
Yeah. I think
but it is plus $10 US to ship outside of US.
Yes, that's always a kicker. What's the next one up? I think it was $9, wasn't it?
I would call that, yeah.
I think they're going to get funded.
Yeah, the next one's $9.
I think they'll get funded just because I've seen that jump in by $2,000 in about 4 hours.
Yeah.
And
I agree. I reckon that'll go. And it's a simple idea. It looks pretty well executed from the little GIFs and things.
I think it's an industrial designer's actually come up with it. They've still got 36 days to go, so you've got plenty of time to check it out.
Yeah, that'll be funded, but and I think it's a good idea. It's a classic case of solving a problem that's really there, because it is a problem.
It is a problem.
It's a problem.
Yes, it's not a made-up problem.
We should, before we go, we should find another one just to do a Kickstarter Dropkick.
You want to find
randomly? We just throw out the script. Just do it. See what catches your eye on Kickstarter. It makes me laugh because I started following crowdfunding 5 years ago, and there were eight crowdfunding sites that I looked at that time, and then a lot of them died off, and it got down to Indiegogo and Kickstarter. I think were the only two left of the original 8, and then of course now there's a gazillion more being set up and stuff.
But then some of the other ones are quite specialised now. Aren't they?
And that's what our friend Kat says, is that it will go specialised. And I think I agree, but I think Kickstarter is still the one for tech type stuff. Indiegogo is more the artistic one. If we do go for crowdfunding for our Star Wars Outcast, that'll be going to Kickstarter only because there's already an established Star Wars community on it.
I think I found something that you might be interested in. I don't know if I should tell you because you might want to. I can't
spend money.
It won't let me open it.
Yeah, so Kickstarter, I don't think would be my first choice normally, but for our film, because it's got that community already there, we would use that.
I can't actually open this, but I can just read the little description. I don't know why Kickstarter won't let me view this. Probably because I don't know. Anyway, it's got 59 days to go. It's from a guy in the UK. He's taken it upon himself as a challenge to become a body piercer. I will show you the steps to become one as I become one.
How much is he after?
I don't know. I can't open it. It's like Kickstarter doesn't want to show this to me in case I want to give him all my money. Because there's no better way of learning from someone that's just doing it as, showing you as they go along. Because he'll be like, oh, look, I've had my tongue, it hurts.
Yeah, having said that, I mean, Ryan Connolly with Film Riot, that's pretty much what his YouTube channel was. I know something, he knew something about film because he'd gone to film school or whatever, but he said, I'm going to be an independent filmmaker and I don't know what I'm doing and you can come along on this ride with me. To be fair, he didn't ask for any money for it, so that's a huge difference right there, but it's been a very, very good podcast for him, or I don't suppose you'd call it podcast because it's a YouTube channel. But he's had sponsorship. I think it's domainname.com at the moment, but he's had sponsorship throughout, so he's made some money from that, and he's become quite famous, and he's been on Creative Live recently doing some stuff which I saw very, very good.
Okay, here we go. I managed to open it. What happened was I was looking at the new Kickstarter, and when I went out and came back in, it rejumbled it up because there was more new stuff. So he wants £650.
And what's he going to spend the £650 on, pray tell?
Apparently it's not a hard industry to get into, and he's going to do a series of videos. How to become a piercer, the course, his first attempt, hopefully in brackets, and then a continuous vlog of my piercing experience. This is what the pledge will go towards. All of it will go towards the course, as it's quite a hefty course and all the equipment that will be used. The risks are I might not be any good at piercings. But
the guy's honest. That's all good.
Yeah, but I will progress through that rough patch and become good. Or die trying, maybe. I just made that last bit up.
He should have put die trying in there.
Oh, he okay, it turns out he has a phobia of blood and needles. But he's hoping to get through that. But all these challenges can be overcome with lots of hard work.
And money. And your money.
And I'm sure the £650 is going to help. So there's no backers at the moment. Check out Becoming a Piercer if you want to have a go at that. And that's a Kickstart or Dropkick.
That one's a Dropkick.
I'm going to say Dropkick.
That's a Dropkick. Oh, man, I remember talking to Kat, and she gave me some links to some of the Dropkicks that were epic Dropkicks. Unbelievable that people would ask for money for these things.
It's crazy.
So that is I guess that is a shout out to Kat Jenkins at multitude.co.nz.
Multitude.co.nz.
Yep, she's the crowdfunding coach, only crowdfunding coach, I think, in New Zealand at the moment.
Yeah,
and,
at the moment.
Yeah, and she's going to be doing some stuff with us, hopefully with our Star Wars Outcast, when we get to that point, which is ages away yet. But if you are thinking about doing that, rock over to Multitude because they have a little free course. You put your email address in,
yep,
and it gives you a whole bunch of emails that sort of give you a lot of pretty good information about doing a Kickstarter or what's the New Zealand one? Pledge Me, yeah. Pledge Me?
Pledge Me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or wherever you want to do it, because there's so many now, and
There
choosing
is.
the right one is a big deal as well. So that's just a friendly shout out to Kat.
Shout out.
All right, so that's us for
That is
today.
us for episode 4 of the podcast, the Chris and Sam podcast, and you can find us at thechrisandsampodcast.com.
Yay! And if you're listening to us on iTunes or Stitcher, don't forget
Or
to
anything
hit that
else.
subscribe. Yeah, or anything else. I always use Stitcher, so
Yeah.
But there are others, eh?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Yep. There's yeah. We'll talk about that another time.
we should.
Yep.
All right, see you all later.
Okay. See ya.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to subscribe and we'll catch you next week. Don't forget to tell your friend.